and my name's Kendall, and today we're going to talk about alien conspiracy theories.
Even though there are none and aliens don't exist.
Wow, that's what we're here to discuss, right?
Not really.
Yes.
It's facts.
Well, so we're going to start with the Kinross incident, which is a very unheard of thing.
And totally normal incident.
Oh, yes. Okay, so on November 23rd, 1963, a U.S. F-89C Scorpion jet took off and intercepted.
They fly.
And intercepted an unknown flying object. Which
could have just been a bird.
Which stands for
I don't know.
UFO. So,
Yeah.
and it was flying over Lake Superior, which for those of you who don't know,
Is a Great Lake. Educate yourself.
yes, it's one of the Great Lakes of the USA.
If you'd like, I can name all 5 of them right now.
Go.
Like Huron, Lake Superior, Lake Ontario, Lake Erie, and I don't remember the 5th one.
Oh, sucks to be you. Okay,
You didn't know any of them before this.
Okay, anyways, so they lost contact with the jet. And
Totally
it
normal. This was like really early. They didn't have the kind of technology for this.
They lost contact with the jet, and what happened is the 2 little blinking dots on the thing.
That's some real hard evidence.
Wow,
2
yes.
blinking dots
The
on a
2 blinking
screen.
dots connected into 1 dot, which continued to blink and move around Lake Superior, which means there was a collision, but whatever,
It's normal.
it didn't go down. Like, something did not go down.
You better say.
So, there was no trace of the plane. There still is no trace of the plane, and it was flying at 8,000 feet when it collided with the other
Maybe he
dot.
saw like a really cute deer. in the
Maybe he
woods.
did, but why can't they find any remnants of the plane?
Maybe he was leaving. Like he was trying to get away from like a wife or something. Like maybe his wife was abusing him and he's trying to leave his home.
So he took another person with him?
Yes. Maybe he was gay and they were going on like this
no,
big
we're not
trip to
doing
leave
this. Anyways,
his
so-
wife. I'm just
The
saying.
U.S. government says that the UFO was a Canadian airliner.
And the
that went
Canadians
off
were
course.
not having it,
The
honey.
Canadians were not having it. The pilot strongly denies this claim. By the way, I mean pilot as in there were a group of pilots that all like kind of worked together, and he was friends with the pilot that was being accused, and he was like, no, the dude's still here. Nothing happened. And
That's some really
if
great
it was
terminology.
if it was you know, our airliner, there would be a collision, like an actual collision. It would be very loud, and there would be remnants of the planes. So
Or it
that's
was
false.
Just, like, fell to the bottom of the lake. I mean, the lake's pretty deep.
No, because they sonared the lake, obviously. So
But it was at
in
that time. They don't have good
1968,
technology.
Which, by the way, this all happened in 1963.
So
in
bad technology.
1968, the parts of the people, or actually the U.S. government, said that parts of the plane might have been found, but the Canadian government again stepped in and said there was no records of the parts being found. The find was never published in the first place, so therefore it never happened. Instead we're going, yeah, that was completely false. And
Still
I
no
feel
proof of
like
a
the
UFO.
U.S. government was totally whipping that out of their bouteilles because it doesn't make any sense.
Watch your language.
Their buttocks. So, that's our first story.
On to our second story.
Well, yeah.
that she's forcing me to read. I don't believe in it because aliens aren't real.
Well,
But
that's why
I'm
you're
getting
an
paid
unbeliever.
to do this. So, we're going to be talking about a JFK alien conspiracy theory that's entirely false.
Okay,
This,
you're laying the non-believer so thick.
that's the point. I'm being an actress right now. Continue. Cut shot, continue. JFK was shot on November 22nd, 1963 by Lee Harvey Oswald. Fact. He showed lots of interest in UFOs 10 days before his death, which is true. Totally true. But he could be assassinated for a number of reasons, but the real reason he was shot. I don't know what that is, but it wasn't about UFOs, I'll tell you that.
So you're telling me it's not suspicious that he was looking at information about that? Oh, and continue on with what he said like a couple days before he died. Go ahead.
He could have been a loony. Maybe that's
Go
why
ahead.
they killed him. Quote.
That's really violent. Go ahead.
Quote, I'd like to tell the truth about the alien situation, but my hands are tied.
No, I think that definitely is a sign that something was happening.
Maybe he found something else.
Something was going on.
Maybe he found some other weapon that the government didn't want him to know about. Maybe they were planning to kill him for a long time. You're just mad because I'm right. Continuing on. Next story.
So, on to my next story. So we've talked about the Ross incident so far. The JFK alien theory, which is pretty fair and could be true. We're going to go on to a theory which is famous worldwide, and you can say whatever you want, but people do know about this.
The only Men in Black I'm thinking about is Will Smith.
Wait, you revealed it! You revealed it!
Yeah, I did!
Oh my god, we're going to talk about the Men in Black. Which is, super famous thing. There was a movie with Will Smith.
Boss. He's my dad.
Yeah, it's a great movie, but we're going to talk about, factual sort of things that people have come forward and told stories about. So,
Will Smith is dad.
Basically, Men in Black is a group of guys dressed in black, obviously.
Wow.
That show up right after anything to do with aliens, whether it be a sighting or an interaction.
That might be about aliens.
What do you mean?
There's no proof that it was aliens. It could have just been a bunch of southern loons from America.
Then why do creepy guys in suits show up?
Almost any guy in a suit could be creepy.
Okay, I mean, fair enough.
Men in general are creepy.
Still.
Yeah, you got no.
Okay, so they will introduce themselves, and this is what people continuously say, which the sightings began in 1940s, right? And from the 1940s till now, people give the same story, which now I do understand. I do understand how people now could be making it up. I mean, that's that's reasonable. It makes sense. But in the 1940s, you're telling me that these people were like, we're gonna start saying
everybody
that
was doing coke in the 1940s.
We're seeing people show up after we've had alien,
after they've been doing coke,
or we've seen a UFO. No, that's not true.
In the 40s, they were doing a lot of coke. It was snow and coke all winter long.
So they would introduce themselves. So people would say they would introduce themselves as very friendly investigators. And as soon as they felt like the people were with them, I guess you could say, and gave them information, they would literally be like, yeah, okay, you need to shut up and never ever talk to me about this. Yeah, they would intimidate them into silence. And these people were like, I mean, I'm not gonna fight with some figure. They didn't know these guys' names. They didn't know where they came from. They just kind of rolled up and do what they do. So yeah, that's kind of what the sightings were about, and that's what people say. So some people say that they look like super normal dudes, kind of like the CIA or something like that.
Normal albino people, which would then turn this into a race mission.
Well, that's the thing is some people think that they have unusually colored skin. Sometimes that's reported that they have almost shimmering skin, kind of
What if they have a sun deficiency?
Like Twilight, they kind of glitter or something
that just closes my whole case.
That wasn't what they said, but they said that their skin was shimmering, which I guess to give you kind of a visual could be like
their highlight be Twilight, that $2
something like
elf
that.
highlighter.
And so the people think that they could be aliens instead of government officials.
They're albinos.
Is totally plausible because if it was an alien or an alien that got caught and it wants people to not expose them, maybe they're working hand in hand with the government, and the government's like, yeah, you can tell our people to shut up. I don't know, something like that. Something like that could be happening. And so witnessings have been happening from 1940 up until now, usually along the same storyline. Obviously, a few things are different, like the sighting, the area, the guys, the people, things like that. But the way everything goes down is usually pretty much the same. So,
all right, next thing, I will say that this one's kind of interesting, but nothing unusual going on.
Oh, quick before we talk about this though, this is meant as no disrespect to any of the families, to any of the passengers. This is just some musings.
We're trying to get to the bottom of the story that you can't get to the bottom to.
As theorists, but not as
Yeah. March 8th, 2014, Malaysian Flight 370 went missing, and nobody could find anything of it. No parts of the plane. None of the 239 passengers could be found. Not their luggage, not, a friggin', I can't say that. Not even a toenail or something was found. Nothing. Disappeared into thin air. But The ocean is a huge place. Like, it very well could have sank to the bottom of the Marianas Trench, for all we know.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not in the same place, the Marianas Trench, but
There's trenches out there.
there's trenches out there, and, like, they could have fallen to the bottom, and, like, everybody could have been trapped in the plane, is my point.
I don't know.
It doesn't mean that something weird and
float,
extraterrestrial happened.
Things float. And you know they couldn't find the black box? Which, a black box, for those of you who don't know,
It's
back
orange.
in time, it used to be black, but now it's orange, so they can find it. And it basically just records where the plane is, all that kind of stuff. And it also will audio record the cockpit, which is where the pilots are and where they're having like conversations. So if there is a hijacking and a plane goes down or any of those kind of situations, they can find the black box first and figure out what happened to the plane before.
I mean, that's very possible. It could have
Yeah.
been hijacked. And there are plenty of, like, uninhabited islands all over the world. Maybe they got hijacked and they started a new colony somewhere. Like, like the Roanoke colony.
That was probably aliens too, on that.
They were probably sick of, like, Britain and wanted to get away from them.
Or they were abducted by aliens, and that's why we can't find any remnants of the plane, the people, or anything involved with the whole situation.
So, for the first 2 years, authorities were looking in the wrong place.
Which is so ridiculous. I don't.
6 months before they called it off, which is recently, they found 33 pieces of wreckage and then decided to call it off. Why?
And they're looking in the right area now.
They're looking in the right area now, which is somewhere around the Indian Ocean. And they were like, yeah, I give up. It's like when I look at an AP Psych test, I'm just kind of like, ooh, better go to the bathroom for an hour and 20 minutes. Go to the nurse's office, you know. You guys know the drill.
I think that is very weird. I don't know. When this first happened, I definitely would have been like, they've been abducted. Like, I don't think that. I would never think that. Obviously, this was a horrific situation when it all went down, when it first happened.
Yeah, and to all those families, they still have no idea what's happened to their family
that's
members.
horrible, but I mean, definitely there's something weird going on. The fact that they called off the search, like they found wreckage, they were getting closer. And
yeah, it took
like,
them 3 years to find wreckage, and then they're like, yeah, we're done.
Like, we're just
Throwing
not
the
gonna
towel.
look anymore. Like, what do you mean you're not gonna look anymore?
And the plane was last seen on military radar at 2:14 a.m. And at that same time, either the pilot or the co-pilot said, quote, "Good night, Malaysian 370, end quote.
Why would you say goodnight to yourself?
Or even to, like, the crew or the rest of the plane, because if it's 2:14 a.m., you would assume that the rest of the plane would be asleep already.
Could be. I mean, it could be.
I mean, people could have been awake, but the majority of
But the
people
majority
on
of the plane would have been asleep. Exactly. And the
It's
fact
odd.
that you like say the name of your plane, the number,
and then
you're like good night.
Within like half an hour, gone. Like the plane disappeared.
That's such a terrifying thought. Because I'm sure everyone can agree. We all travel a lot, so
Yeah, and like
it's really scary to think.
anything's possible. Like you could get on that plane and not get off.
Woo, chills.
I mean, best of luck to everybody getting on a plane soon, because I know
Yeah.
we're all going on interim.
Woo! Yay!
But you know, always make sure you have your seatbelt on.
Yeah.
Tell the people around you that you love them before you go on a plane, because you never know.
So those are our theories.
That's
Not
her
many,
theories.
but our
My
theories.
facts.
And let us know. Do you believe? Do you not believe? Do you?
Check to the eye. Check out all our other stories. We have
Oh
such
yeah! Look
talented
at check out the eye. We have
writers,
a lot of
media makers.
We have talented
Is that a
people
word?
up in here. Yeah.
Like us.
Check out Shaq. He's our teacher. He's great. Shout out.
Funniest guy ever.
Yeah.
He's not listening to us right now. Bring him.
Shaq.
He's spying on us right now.
Yeah. Thanks.
Have a nice day. Signing off.